door to you. Make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.
Buy original.
You should know where to go. The SOS.
It's deadly and something everyone must do everything possible to avoid because it kills. It's substandard product. We will tell you why you should never go close to it, let alone staking your hard-earned money on substandard product for any reason whatsoever. The program you're watching is Standard, and I have got a lot to share with you after this short message. My name is Ifenyua Okonkwo. I'll be back shortly.
My good people of Nigeria, anytime you want to buy iron rod, there are 4 important things you look out for. One of them is the name of the manufacturer, which is on the product. Date of production, which is on the product also. The length of the rod, which must be 12 meters, nothing short of 12 meters. And then the diameter. If you are going for 8 mm, ensure that the diameter of the rod you are buying is exactly 8 mm, nothing less than that. If you are going for 10 mm, ensure that the diameter of the rod you are buying is 10 mm, nothing less than that. If you are going for 16 mm, ensure the diameter of the rod you are trying to buy is 16 mm exactly, and others like that. Nothing short of the exact diameter you want to buy when you go to market to buy iron rod. Buy right, buy authentic, SON.
Improving lives through standards.
A warm welcome to Standard and and thanks for joining us. It's a fact today that there are substandard products in our markets. It's also a fact that those importing these bad products into the country have not stopped their illegal and wicked business for obvious reasons. However, there is one fact that most consumers are yet to come to terms with, and that fact is we must resist the temptation to purchasing substandard products and insist on quality every time we visit our markets. Just before you begin to come up with reasons for patronizing substandard products, please join me as I expose you to why you must stop doing so.
From the food we eat, to the electrical appliances in our homes, and the building materials we put together to give us shelter, there is a substandard version of all these products in our markets. It's very important for us to understand what makes a product substandard to help us make sense of this special public enlightenment initiative by the Standards Organization of Nigeria. Substandard means deviating from or failing in standard or norm. In other words, when a product falls short of the minimum requirement of the standard, it's considered inadequate, inferior, or unacceptable.
Looking at the product, if you discover that the inscriptions are not even English, so you just forget about it. That means the product is not meant for our own region, it's not meant for Nigeria. So you already don't even go to buy that product. Again, if you see a product that does not even have instructional manual, there are no inscriptions, there are no labels to it, then you already know that there is some high level of deception and that product is fake. So if you have a product that is a plug and play and you are taking it home, then you are supposed to follow those instructions. And then on it, for electrical products, you should expect that the voltage that is inscribed on it, that is required to operate that product, is of our own region. That's a 230 volts. And then you should be able to know that there should be information on that product, which is a requirement of the standard, where that product is coming from, who manufactured it, and then the mechanical, electrical properties of that material, of that product should be stated on it according to the requirement of the standard. So if those things are not in the product, then automatically you know that that product is substandard.
Such a product becomes dangerous for consumption, especially when it's a life-threatening one like electrical appliances, gas cylinder, food, or tire. With this definition in mind, One expects that it's important for a consumer to scrutinize carefully every product he or she purchases from the market. Our investigations revealed that a large number of consumers still patronize sellers and dealers on substandard products. While some feign ignorance, others attributed their patronage for substandard products to poor purchasing power, resulting from inflationary trend in the economy.
There's not enough capital build up. Our people don't really have what it takes to buy the quality thing.
Most people don't really have enough funds in their pockets to buy original product. Even though most times they know quite well that that is the inferior kind of thing, but they still want that based on the fact that it is cheaper.
The original one goes for 50,000 and I'm earning 20,000 naira a month. I see the fake one that is similar to the original one just for me to belong. I'll rather go for the fake one because of my own level.
Experts say because these products lack certain critical parameters of the standard, they are inferior and can cause harm to consumers. For instance, a substandard tire poses great danger to a driver and any occupant in the vehicle in the event of a tire burst. The same way anyone using a substandard gas cylinder is exposed to serious danger.
And that is why we are taking the campaign now to parks and then the Association of National Union of Road Transport and all that, to tell them, to carry them along in this campaign that used tires is like digging your own grave and burying yourself inside. Most of the used tires coming have outlived their shelf life and as such are expired. Putting them on your vehicle, anything can happen. It could be that maybe it has never been used, but there's no guarantee for your safety using those tires. It can burst, anything can happen. It can lead to serious accident that will lead to loss of life. It's possible it may not have outlived its shelf life. Maybe say have 2 years more or 1 year more. But what do you know is the defect of that tire? Why is it sold as used tire at that point? You don't know. And the only way you can know is to go through the expert to check those tires and confirm to you that this tire can still be used. You don't go through expert, you just go blindly there and buy and use. It's possible that that defect that made them throw it out as used tire could lead to serious problems for you if you put it on your vehicles.
Apart from denying consumers satisfaction, consumers pay so much replacing a substandard product.
The painful part is when you take it back to the people that you bought them from. They are not going to change it because they know that that's how the whole thing in their store looks like. There was a time we bought over 16 fans. It was only 4 that worked.
Only 4?
Only 4. The rest were just rotating, but it was not blowing.
My fan, my ceiling fan, I've changed the coil more than 3 times.
Even though when I on the fan, I feel it hits when the fan is working.
Instead, they will use one thing, do one, they will use and do like 3, so they will make money. I received to repair like 40 in a month.
Substandard products, like the life-threatening bad product, is like a time bomb waiting to explode. To ensure that consumers get value for their money, SON is investing a lot in quality infrastructure and quality service. Patronizing sellers of substandard products under any guise is obviously an exercise in futility and a risk not worth taking. Consumers are therefore advised to embrace self-regulation as one sure way to check the distribution of substandard products in the country.
Igbo Bigbo ekele m unu. Ihe a na ka ị ga-ene anya mgbe ọbụla ijere igo igwe eji ala ụlọ. Nke izizi bụ ịfụ na afọ onye lụrụ igwe a dịkwa na ya. Nke ịbụọ bụ ụbọchị alụrụ igwe a ọ dịkwa na igwe ahụ eji ala ụlọ. Nke atọ bụ ogologo igwe anwa. Ọ na-adị 12 na mita. Nke anọ bụ ọkpụrụkpụ ya. Ọ na-adị 8 na milimita. 20 na milimita, 40 na milimita. Nke ọbụla onye na-ego, ọ ga-eji elili tụọ ya ụdọ iji wee ka o wee doo ya anya na ihe ọ na-ego bụ SOL na-akwalite ndụ.
The program you're watching is Standard and You, your guide to product quality and safety. Now to our big story. It is an electrical device that we all have in our homes. It is used to transfer from one source of electricity to another. It is popularly known by many as the changeover. Did you know that the device is a life-endangering product? Did you know that it's dangerous to misuse the changeover? Did you also know that there are substandard changeover in Nigeria? In this report, we shall tell you all you need to know about the electrical transfer switch. Please take a listen.
That was a power generating set, otherwise known in the country as generator. It's one of the sources of power in Nigeria. For those who can afford it, the solar inverter is another source of electricity supply. Consumers of electricity in the country get their supply from any of these devices depending on the one they can afford. Over the years, consumers now rely in any or two, or in some cases, the 3 sources of electricity supply, which has necessitated the use of what is today known as the changeover switch.
When you are changing over from one supply to the other, you can see this is the live part that will contact with this other part. So the usual and the most challenging is either this live part is not pure copper or pure conducting material, or the other legs of conducting parts inside are not, again, of quality. Again, in addition, the screws too are very important because, of course, once it's in operation, the screws will be conducting. So if the screws are of materials that can get heated up easily, of course, it will affect all the contact points.
The changeover switch is a system or device used to transfer from one source of electricity supply to another. Investigations reveal that there's been complaints from consumers over the quality of the product. Ifeanyi Okafor is a consumer. He told Standard and You that it's hard to replace his changeover too often.
In a month now, I've bought this twice now. And you can see it's not up to a month now. You can see everything. You can see it's melting now. So I have to change it again now. I have to change it right now.
So what happens? You say sometimes it sparks,
Sometimes it sparks. You may be inside now. Before you notice, you just see fire burning out from it. I don't know what caused it because I don't know about it.
Charles is another consumer who expressed worry over the frequency at which the device malfunctions.
I do have issues about my changeover sometimes. I don't know whether it's because of the load I have in it or whether it's because of this I'm not getting the original one for myself. But whenever I want to change over from NEPA to the generator, when I got there, I see it burns, or sometimes I see it sparks, or sometimes I want to change from NEPA generator to NEPA, I see the same way too. So that's what I experienced in my changeover.
These consumers are among thousands of Nigerians who have had to contend with substandard changeover in the country.
My sister, this one now, making 11 one I don't buy now. Immediately I on now. Once them bring light, change over, smart I don't burn. So when I look for better one, when I give us. Anyone will give better name, me will they buy, when I give us. I started, how much would they make for this drink? Where would they sell? Small money, go make money finish. Change over, go collect them. I saw that they collect money for our hand.
11 times, how many?
This year now, under 6 months now, I don't change them like 11 times.
When I first bought the one I had before, within 3 or 4 months, I discovered that when you change over, it does not connect. It was as if it was touching somewhere, and over time, it started sparking. And it was a bit dangerous because this is a gym, a karate gym, that we have a lot of equipment. So somebody else came to help us change it and got us a bigger one, which you can see now. And since then, things have been working fine.
It's a disturbing and dangerous development which the officials of the Standards Organization of Nigeria have continued to adopt measures to check the distribution of these bad products.
We have adopted International Technical Commission standards, IEC standards that have been adopted that we are presently using, and they are fully Nigerian industrial standards now. And those are the ones that have the parameters, the requirements that to ensure that all the changeover switches that we have, whether small, big, whether automated, whether manual, will meet the requirements of the standards. And what do we really look out for? Of course, we need to be sure that the insulation is high enough to protect users. We need to know that the material that is used in the live parts are pure, that they will not cause heat and they will not cause burning. And we need to know whether this equipment can stand environmental conditions, adverse environmental conditions. For instance, heat, how much of heat can affect it, dust, salt environment like Lagos that has a salty environment, how does it affect the system, humidity, and all of that, every environmental conditions, they are tested against them to ensure, and a particular changeover switch must meet the requirements of the standard. If it fails one of these parameters, it will be adjudged to be non-conforming, and it will not go.
The changeover switch is generally classified into two major types. They are the automatic and manual. While the automatic functions electronically, the manual requires a flip by the consumer between alternative power sources at the owner's convenience. The device comes in different colors and sizes with varied capacity.
Okay, changeover switches are majorly important. Main life component inside should be made of pure copper, whose purity should be about 99.997% to be fully pure, and then it should be free from, of course, if it's pure, then you will not have heating, but if it's not pure, that is when you begin to see, the live component inside will be heated up, and once it's slightly overloaded, you begin to see that even the insulators will begin to get burned. And those are the things that we'll look out for when we'll carry out the test of the changeover switches.
This is the 400 amp of the changeover. This is 225 amp, 3-phase. This is 160 amp, 3-phase. This is 100 amp, 3-phase. This is 225 amp, single phase. This is 100 amp, single phase. This is 60 amp, single phase. While this one is 30 amp, single phase.
According to SON's head of electrical, Engineer Cherry Achama, physical examination is not enough to ascertain the quality of the changeover. This is because of the electrical components, which he explained must be tested and confirmed to be standard.
Where is it coming from? Does it have the indication of where the country that is coming from? What is the brand name? And what are the inscriptions? And again, if they are imported and they're registered with the Standard Segregation of Nigeria, that is one key thing that everyone must look out for. If it is registered, the mark will be on it, and then you can have the assurance that the product you are buying meets the requirement of the standards. But if it doesn't, then you should don't even buy. And if it is a made in Nigeria changeover switch, then you must look out for the MANCAP logo on it. That MANCAP logo attests to you that it has gone through the laboratory testings and it has been adjudged to be of quality and that you can have confidence in using it. But if you are buying, you must ensure that you know the ratings of the changeover switch that you are buying. You must have an idea of what your loads are in the house, and then you must know exactly what the current requirement is before you can go ahead to buy because if you buy underrated, you can be sure that it will not last, it will cause issues, and then it can even lead to burning, and the house can even burn. So it is very dangerous, and as we often say, it's a life-endangering product. So we must be careful with how we select and how we use them.
Consumers must be guided to seek the services of experts before purchasing the electrical transfer switch.
That's why it's good to use a good engineer when you are building your house. Equally use a good electrician. You understand? That electrician will be able to specify for you. Even when other people by design will say, 30 amps we do it or 60 amps we do it. Say no. Listen to your electrician. The electrician will be able to give you the one that you are going to use. You say go for 60 amps. I'm sure that this one will be okay for you.
It's not just a technician, somebody that will tell you the truth. Most Nigerians now, they lie because of what? Money. And a lot of you want to make money. But everybody that knows, or somebody or someone that knows where he's going, will tell you the truth, because the little money he's making from you, you refer him, he makes more. The other person refer him, he's multiplying. That's why we call it turnover. I used to send electrical people to buy things for me. But imagine me as a civil engineer coming to market myself, because what? I'm not depending on them anymore. What they buy for me is rubbish. And at the long run, 6 months, they keep on calling me back that it's burning already. They are using heaters in their house, it's burning already. So I come myself, because I know what I'm buying from all my clients is original.
Although the market unions, working with relevant stakeholders, have continued to evolve strategies to check the distribution of bad changeovers in the markets, the unpatriotic and greedy importers still smuggle in these bad products through unauthorized points of entries.
What we are doing is not only for SON, but for ourselves. If we are talking about SON, what have we in the market? Assuming that they are coming from Ikoyi to come and buy something from here, and they find out that it's fake, will you come again? So we are doing something we know how to do best to make sure that such thing will be history here in this market. I always tell you, if you want to fight a man, just think I will fight you. Don't go and disclose how you're going to fight him, because if you do, we lose the fight. For now, my eyes on the ground to monitor what is happening in that side. I mean the knife changeover. So maybe by the next time you come now, I can hit my mind chest and say no or yes.
The agency's head of electrical assured consumers that the SON will continue to go after these importers, seize their bad products, and seek court orders to destroy them. This is apart from developing quality infrastructure to ascertain the quality of the changeover available in Nigeria.
On Feedback tonight, I'll be sharing 5 standard tips on stabilizer. Buy SON certified stabilizer from reputable company and consider nature, power consumption range of your appliance, and the level of voltage fluctuations experienced in selecting a stabilizer. Avoid overloading the stabilizer. Ensure total power of appliance connected to your stabilizer is within operating power range that is lesser than the rated wattage of the stabilizer. Keep your stabilizer away from water to prevent electric shock. Don't ever disassemble a working stabilizer. Repair jobs should be done only by professionals. Check for loose connection regularly and handle with care to avoid severe vibration during work. I hope you learned a lot from this episode. Join us same time again next week for another enlightening edition. Please enjoy the rest of your week.
Why you dey buy fake product, make you dey careful, no go damage your life. You've got one life to live.